It's your boys. The New Day are gone. Yes, they are gone. Now, they are some OGs by today's standards, right? They've been the WWE for quite a long time, especially Kofi Kingston. I mean, Kofi Kingston, his best days were with the New Day, but he had a career before that. I remember him being Jamaican, right? Um, all the gags of him not being eliminated at the Royal Rumble. He would find ways to get back in. That was always fun until the end, towards the end when that came, you know, he started botching a few of them and it's like, okay, you know what, that's gone. But that was pretty fun. Now, the New Day. Look, for me personally, I was never like a big fan of the New Day. They were fine. They were okay. They're fine. I didn't have an issue with them. I thought they were somewhat fun. I thought they were more for kids, which is cool. Which is cool. That's fine. I always thought there was a good place for them at the WWE. Gosh darn it, man. They kept going. Them and the Usos. I don't know how many times they faced each other, right? Because the tag team division was pretty weak. Not too many tag teams, but those were the two major tag teams, and they kept going at it and at it and at it. And in reality, the New Day, they were a trio with Big E when Big E was around, and Kofi Mania was really cool, right? That was really cool to see. It really was. To be honest, even though I'm saying I wasn't a big fan of the New Day, I was a fan of the whole Kofi Mania era. I thought that was really cool, man. Now, being honest on all this, the New Day has fallen apart and it fell apart. I'm going to say when Big E went down. Big E hasn't been around for quite a while now, right? He got injured, he got the neck injury, and he has not been around. I mean, he's been around doing, like the pre-shows and things of that sort. I'm talking about there with the New Day. They turned heel on him. But even before they turned heel on him, to me, the New Day just wasn't the same without Big E. Now, I don't want to say that Big E was the mega superstar in the New Day. I think all three of them together is what made the New Day. So if Xavier Woods went down and it was Kofi and Big E, maybe they wouldn't have suffered as much, but they still would have suffered because the three of them is what made the New Day. If Kofi went down and had a Big E and Xavier Woods, yeah, it still would have affected it because the three of them together is what made the New Day. To me, out of all three, Xavier Woods is the weakest. I think had all three split up and gone their own direction, their own way, I think that would have been the end of Xavier Woods. Had Big E not gotten injured, he would have still had a pretty decent career. Kofi Kingston obviously would have had a pretty good career. I think the one that would have suffered was Xavier Woods. But all three together, yeah, that's what made the New Day. And if any one of these guys fell out, I think it would have hurt the product, the trio of the New Day. So when Big E went down, it just wasn't the same anymore. When they turned heel on him and kicked him out of the ring, there was really no payout when it came to it. That storyline didn't go anywhere outside of just, hey, they're heels now. But nothing really came out of it. And not only that, but they didn't really use them much. And once I know once something like this happens, people like to speak up and, oh man, they could have used them and they could have done this with them. They could have done with that with them. But when they were part of the roster, honestly, I didn't hear anybody clamoring for them. I didn't hear anybody coming to their defense and saying, hey, you know what we need to see more? We need to see more of New Day. We need to see more of Xavier Woods. We need to see more of Kofi Kingston. Now that they've been let go, oh, now everybody wants to pipe up. Now everybody has something to say. Oh man, how dare you guys let go of them? New Day has not been relevant for quite a while, and I haven't heard anybody say we need to see more of the New Day. Give the New Day some television time. We want to see Xavier Woods. We want to see Kofi Kingston. I have not heard anybody say that. Now, if you just feel bad for them simply because they've been with the company for so long, and it's like, hey, come on, man, you got to keep them around. Sure, okay, I can see that. I saw what Bobby Lashley had to say. It's like, hey, these guys have been around with the company for so long. Why don't you keep them around? But look, WWE is proving that, hey, listen, it's out with the old and in with the new, regardless of how long you've been here. If you're not relevant anymore, you're not relevant. Now, somebody like a John Cena, he's still relevant. Now, he's not in the ring anymore, but he's still relevant, right? Randy Orton has been with the WWE forever. He's still relevant. Certain people, certain guys, they're still relevant. So it's not just out with the old and in with the new. It's out with the old if you're not relevant anymore. And to be honest, New Day has not been relevant, and they haven't, it's not just now, they haven't been relevant for a while. Nobody really cared anymore. Now people are acting like they cared all along. But there was no energy for the New Day when they weren't on television. I never heard anybody once ever mention, gosh, where's the New Day? I want to see the New Day. Now they're gone. Does it? Do I feel a little bit bad? I feel a little bit bad, sure, especially for a guy like Kofi Kingston. Yeah, I do feel a little bit bad because they have been around for so long. But I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend like I was missing them on television. Like, man, you know what? I don't even, you know what? I don't even know what brand they were on. I don't know if they were on SmackDown or if they're on Monday Night Raw. But I never, ever, ever, especially once it was just Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Once upon a time, like I said, in their heyday of the New Day, yeah, sure, it was fine. But in recent time, I had not sat down and watched SmackDown or Monday Night Raw and say, like, come on, man, let's get the New Day in there. Never. I'll tell you guys this much. I actually forgot about them. I actually forgot about them. So could they have utilized them more? Sure, they could have. But nobody was really on top of the hill screaming, hey, where's the New Day? We want to see the New Day. And in reality, the tag team division in the WWE, good gosh, at some point, I think those tag team titles are gone. It's just not working out. But nonetheless, they're gone. Word is that they're going to sign with AEW. We'll see. We'll see. And look, they may be gone for a few years. And I think eventually they will make a comeback, even if it's just for 1 year. They'll come back to the WWE and retire with the WWE. So I don't think this is the end of the New Day in the WWE. I think this is the end of the New Day for the remainder of their wrestling career until their final year of their career to say, okay, we got 1 year left. Let's go stretch it out at the WWE and then call it a career. Maybe more Kofi than Xavier. Xavier's a little bit younger than Kofi Kingston. But like I said, if Xavier is just going to be him on his own, look, just being real, out of all three guys, he's the one that's the most irrelevant. Nonetheless, New Day is gone.